Here.
I can sit right there. I don't want to sit in that chair.
You on the hot seat?
Yeah, I've been in there before. Here's my card.
Okay, great, thanks.
All right, and you are Krall, right?
Yes, sir.
All right. Dan, obviously you've been aware that we've been called in to conduct the criminal investigation into the shooting that occurred on the 5th of August. Despite what you've been told, you're not compelled. You're a peripheral person. You obviously weren't present when the incident occurred, but like I tell everybody, you're not compelled to talk to me.
Okay.
Despite what you've been told, you can walk out of here at any time. You can, if you get fed up or frustrated about something I ask you, you can walk out. So
sounds good.
you know the deal.
Yep.
You know what I'm getting at. But how long have you been with the Beavercreek Police Department?
Yeah, definitely.
Hey, hello? Hey, I'm in an interview. Is it important? All right, see you, bye. My boss.
No, you're fine. Been with the department 12 and a half years.
12. And how long have you been a detective?
Since April this year.
And is there any specific function you serve as a detective? Are you general assignment?
Just
child crimes?
General assignment.
All right. Okay, and typically 8 to 4?
Yes, sir.
Dan? Okay, on this incident, tell me how you were contacted.
I was at home, got a call from Captain Krall about 9 o'clock. Yeah.
Is he over you guys?
Yes, he is.
Okay. And what did he inform you?
Just informed me there was an incident at Walmart involving an officer shooting. Requested to see if I was available to come in to help investigate. I said I was. Asked me to respond down to the Beavercreek Police Department to obtain all of our evidence equipment, cameras and equipment that we use, because we didn't know at that time if we were going to be processing the scene. So just asked me to respond.
Did you do that?
Yeah.
You retrieved all the evidence equipment?
Yep. Yes, sir.
Do you have evidence technicians that work on the road too?
We do.
Okay.
Yeah.
Are you an evidence technician?
I am.
Okay. And you went through the Miami Valley Crime Lab school?
I did.
3-week school? Okay. Okay, go ahead. So you retrieved it?
Yep.
You responded to the scene?
Yeah, after picking up all the equipment, responded up to the scene, made contact with Captain Krall at the command post. First thing I did, he asked me to, they found Mrs. Tasha, I can't think of her last name.
The Williams?
Yeah, Tasha, the girlfriend or friend.
Oh, yeah.
Found her Chevy Suburban.
Okay.
They found it out in the lot, and they had marked off the crime scene. They asked if I'd help expand the crime scene out past the vehicle. That way, no one would mess with it. So that's the first thing I did. Just assisted Sergeant Hummel with roping off the area. After I got done with that, met back up with him. At that time, he was.
So you just secured the vehicle, basically?
Well, just the area around it. So didn't have any full contact with the vehicle.
Okay.
After such, we met up with Captain Krall again. He was talking with Detective Lindsay in front of the building. Indicated that I asked, if he wanted me to make contact with the loss prevention officers, because I saw him standing over there, because they hadn't started working on the video yet.
Who's Detective Lindsay?
Detective Chad Lindsay. He's another general assignment.
I don't see him on. Is he here today?
He's been off the last 2 days. He should be back Monday.
Okay. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, that's fine. Met up with Shannon Berry. She's the loss prevention officer that's attached to our Beavercreek Walmart. Asked her if she wouldn't mind starting to pull some of the video footage from the incident. So she responded in. There was a couple other ones.
What's her name? I'm sorry.
Shannon Berry. I don't know the names. I know they're probably on the entry log for the other. There was a few other LPs that went in to assist her. They only had access to there's 2 entrances. There's a grocery exit entrance.
Yeah.
The general assignment, or the general merchandise, I'm sorry, and then the garden center. Just inside the general merchandise is just to the left, immediately in the doors, is their office. So we allowed them permission to go in there and start reviewing the video for us, at which time, after they started that, Detective Lindsay and Captain Krall and I went in to the scene, to the internal crime scene where the shooting occurred, met up with Officer Bondi.
Officer who?
Bondi was...
See, Beavercreek?
He is. He was monitoring the area of where the incident occurred at, and we didn't know at that time if we were going to be processing it or if BCAI was going to, so we just did a quick overview, a couple minutes.
Bondi, is it B-O-N-D-I?
With a Y, B-O-N-D-Y.
Okay.
John Bondi.
And what was his role there?
I didn't really talk to him, but he was just, I think, securing, make sure no one tampered with anything.
So you went in with Captain Krall
and Detective Lindsay. Us three went, did a quick overview of the crime scene. Didn't touch anything, didn't disturb anything. Just kind of did a quick analysis of it. At which point, looked at the rifle that was on the ground, and we were discussing it, and didn't know if, at that time, if Mr. Crawford had brought it in from the vehicle, or if it was something that was, picked up internally in the store. So I said, hey, how about we go back to the sporting goods section? We'll go, just see if they even sell this type of rifle.
Did you identify it as not being real?
Yeah, I could tell once. I couldn't tell once I got up on the rifle. Again, I didn't touch it, but you could tell that it
was a
plastic-based, polymer gun. Assumed it was, because I'm pretty familiar with firearms, that it wasn't legit, full functioning rifle. So at which point suggested, hey, how about we go back and look in the sporting goods section? I knew they sell pellet guns there, so we responded back there. Sure enough, found on the shelf a box with a picture of an identical rifle.
Was it missing?
Yeah, I took my, I didn't touch the box, but I took my antenna on my radio, lifted up the box, because you could tell that the tabs on it had been disturbed. So lifted it up with my antenna, noticed that the rifle was missing out of the box, and assumed that it was the one that was used in the incident. So after doing that, I responded back to the loss prevention office, made contact with Shannon again.
Did you collect the box?
Didn't touch it.
Just left it there?
Just left it where it was at, didn't touch it, other than lifting the lid with my antenna.
But the gun was missing?
Nothing in it. Yeah, there was some instructional manuals and so a couple pieces of that.
And did it match perfectly with what you saw on the floor?
Yeah, they had a full-size photo of the rifle on the exterior of the box that was identical to the rifle that was on at the scene. At which point, after we left there, went up to the loss prevention office, made contact with Shannon. She had found footage of the actual contact between police and Mr. Crawford.
Did you view it?
I did. And then I also relayed to her that, that this, found this box back in sporting goods, see if there was any contact between Mr. Crawford and the box. And she was able to pull up footage of him walking right by that section. The camera is not up close, it's pretty far back, but you can tell as he's walking, he didn't have anything in his right hand, talking on the phone. It appeared to be he's talking on the phone with his left. As he went by the area, you can tell he stops for a second. He goes around the back of the end cap and then comes around the aisle on the adjacent side, and he's holding the rifle in his right hand.
Out of the box? Out
of the box, yeah. There was...
Did he have time to pull it out of the box?
Yeah, I mean, there was enough time away that there would be... I mean, it wasn't extensive, but there was a, I couldn't give you an exact time. There was a definite pause in the video from when he went by it to the time he came around the end cap.
But you don't see him take it out of the box?
You can't... I couldn't tell from the video. Of course, I didn't do a roll.
Study it?
Yeah. I mean, I just looked and I saw that he didn't have it.
Right.
And he walks around to the other side and he has one. So, and he's kind of carrying it in a swing motion down the side as he's still talking on the phone.
Okay.
With his left.
Then you view the incident that I've viewed?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
And we won't get into what you observed. I mean, that you did view the video.
I did.
You saw the incident.
Yeah.
Okay.
Me and Detective Lindsay and I were the first ones to view it. We asked at that point, we asked the loss prevention officers to exit the room so that our chief, Captain Krall, Captain Fiorita, prosecutor Suzanne Schmidt, and investigator Fred Meadows came in and viewed the video at that time.
Okay.
So after that, I exited the building, met up with Sergeant Molnar at the command post, I'm sorry, and he indicated that Officer Diaz had Sergeant Darko's rifle secured in his cruiser.
Okay, hang on a second.
Okay.
That's important. Now, who told you this?
I'm about 90% sure it was Sergeant,
Okay.
or it was either. I apologize. It was either
right.
Sergeant Molnar or Captain Krall. It was one of those two, and I can't remember for sure 100% which one told me. I'm wanting to say it was Sergeant Molnar, but I'm not 100% on it.
Or Sergeant Moore?
Or Sergeant Molnar or Captain Krall. I didn't write it down at the time.
That's fine.
But it was at the command post.
But you were informed that...
Yeah, they told me that, man.
Darko's...
Yeah, that Darko's rifle was in Officer Diaz's patrol car. Asked if I would go retrieve it and secure it in my vehicle, which was up sitting next to the command post.
Did you?
I did.
Did you clear it?
No, when I got it, it was unloaded. I did check the bolt. It was locked to the rear.
So it's already cleared?
It was already cleared. The magazine, I asked Officer Diaz, I said, did you clear this? He said he did. He said there was a round in it. He dropped the magazine. He cleared the round that was in the chamber.
Okay.
He cleared the round.
Diaz told you that?
Yeah, and that he took the round that was discharged and placed it back in the magazine. So at that point,
Did he say? I'm sorry to interrupt you.
No, you're fine.
Did Diaz say he got that rifle straight from Darko?
I didn't. I never asked him.
Didn't ask him?
No,
Okay.
I didn't ask him where he obtained it from. So.
Okay. Hang on one second.
Oh, you're fine.
Okay, go ahead.
No. Just at that point, once
what'd you do with it?
Rendered it safe, I placed it in my trunk of my car.
Your work car?
Yes, in my work car, and which was positioned right next to the command post there.
Okay.
After securing it, what did we do at that point? I know I went back in the building, but did I do something in between there? I don't have my notes, I apologize.
That's all right.
But after securing it, the BCI agents arrived on scene, Brian White, and I can't remember the other gentleman's name. They came on scene.
Josh Durst.
And went back into the building with them. They wanted to know where I didn't go over to the scene with them, where the shooting occurred, but I did show them where I located the box back in Sporting Goods. Again, didn't touch it, didn't move it, just showed them where I located that at. And then once I got done with that, met up with Captain Fiorita. He indicated that there was possibly, when everybody fled the store, that there was possibly people leaving purses and wallets and things like that, personal items. So asked if I'd do a complete search of the store, gathered all the detectives, Lindsay, Kurd, and Pisecki, notified them of that, and at that point we did a sweep of the building.
The building's been cleared, right?
Yeah, before I even got there, they had done a complete search of the building and cleared it out. So
you cleared. Did you collect any personal items?
I found one wallet back in the paint section. Mr. Wheeler, Ricky Wheeler, left his wallet apparently when he fled. So collected that. At that point, exited the.
Go ahead.
that point, exited the store with the wallet, returned my vehicle. Was notified that we could clear at that point the Walmart scene, and just responded back to the police department, logged in
The rifle?
The rifle. It was photographed.
Did you interview anybody?
No, I never talked to anybody. I want to add that before I left, Adrian White photographed the rifle.
Yeah.
There's removed all the rounds from it. There was 28 rounds in the magazine, which is typical what we carry. We do less than 30 just because it causes problems.
Were you under the impression, or were you briefed, or were you under the impression that he did or did not fire his weapon?
I had been told that he had not fired his weapon.
He had not. So that would be typical of what you saw in the weapon?
Yeah, what we do generally.
You don't top them off.
We don't top them off.
No.
You always go 30 and then you drop 2 back, because what happens is if you do the full 30,
compress the spring.
there you go. Yeah. So our rule is that we always carry 28 in the mag, and
then one in the chamber.
Well, no.
Or do you?
We don't have it charged when we.
Okay, so you keep them at patrol ready,
Yep.
which is
magazine in, 28 rounds.
and safety off.
Yeah, without it being charged.
Got it.
So once they removed the rounds from the magazine, there was 28 rounds, which is what we're supposed to be carrying.
If he had charged, though, that would make sense. Okay, go ahead. So you logged in the rifle after it was photographed by Brian White at the scene.
Yep. And just returned my equipment and made contact with Mr. Wheeler. He indicated that he wanted his wallet that night.
Did he see anything?
No. He's back in the paint section.
Okay.
So,
is he an employee or a customer?
No, customer. He had purchased some items, and apparently when the rounds or the shots went off, he panicked and left. So.
Yeah, you blame him.
Nope. So just my last part of the event was I went and returned the wallet to him. So the next morning, I got in contact with Montgomery County Coroner's Office. They indicated that they would be doing an autopsy on.
Did you attend it?
I did, with Bill Harden from the Greene County Coroner's Office, and was present for the autopsy of him and part of Mrs. Williams.
What was the preliminary result of the Crawford's autopsy?
I think it was Dr. Schott completed it, and he indicated that one round basically blew out the left elbow. Another round entered the left abdomen in between the ribs, went through the liver, diaphragm, right kidney, exited the right abdomen, and then entered into the right forearm.
And out?
It fragmented, and he was digging around in there and said there was...
So the wounds were left to right?
Yeah, left to right. So entered and then exited into the right arm, and then it basically fragmented.
Okay.
So there was a ton of small little pieces, but nothing that were retrievable, basically.
What type of ammunition do you carry? Bow tail hollow points?
I think it's bonded. I think it's Remington Spear bonded. I'm not 100% sure on it.
That's fine.
And he said the cause of death unofficially would be probably internal bleeding, blood out.
Based on gunshot wounds?
Yes.
Okay. So he's determined 2 rounds were fired?
2 rounds.
Is there anything I didn't ask you, Detective, that you think I need to know?
No.
And that was pretty much your role?
Yeah. I was pretty limited, so.
Thank you for your time, sir.
All right, good luck.
Thank you. Will you tell him to stop that video?
I will. You want?
Yeah, in about 2 minutes.
Yeah. I don't understand the difference. So that's why I'm like. Right. Why they monitor that?